Hi, everyone, and welcome to Ticked Off, a series where we explore everything from chronic illness and healing to pet care, outdoor adventure, and wellness tips for living your best life. I'm Olivia Abrams, the founder of TickMit and your host for this series. Whether we're chatting with veterinarians, wellness experts, or passionate outdoor enthusiasts, our goal is to give you actionable insights and real stories that inspire and empower you. So let's dive in and meet today's guest. Richie is a compassionate dog behavior specialist serving the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania areas, dedicated to helping owners build stable and healthy relationships with their dogs. Inspired by his German Shepherd Greta, he employs balanced training methods to address issues such as aggression, anxiety, and reactivity. Thank you so much for being here, Richie.
Hi, Olivia. How are you? It's a pleasure to be here.
Good. We're so excited to have you, and we have so many questions.
Go ahead. I'm ready.
So, why do you think dogs experience anxiety? What does it stem from?
In my experience in training, it's a combination of lack of trust in their owner, person. I've lately started to call them the guardians. There's also a large genetic component,
Hmm.
and ultimately, it's also a communication issue
Hmm.
and a consistent linking or attachment of instability um, to being left alone or arrivals and departures.
Right. And as a dog parent, if you have an anxious dog, what are some things you can do to, soothe your dog and curb their anxiety?
I always strongly recommend uh, dog owners, guardians, simplify communication with their dogs.
Hmm.
So we have to remember that dogs communicate primarily through body language and spatial pressure. 90%, in fact, of all dog communication takes place through body language and spatial pressure. In other words, silently. Only 10% of dog communication is through a vocalization. Yet we, I don't know, ignorant, sometimes arrogant humans impose our communication on the dog.
Right.
And we expect them to understand. And it's kind of an incongruence, right? I mean, as the more sophisticated species, and I say species because individually the jury's out on that, right? You know, um, it's not only our responsibility to communicate with the dog the way they understand, the way they communicate, but it's truly our duty. It's our obligation.
Right. Right.
So, going nonverbal with the dog, communicating through body language and spatial pressure, and simply using a leash simplifies communication and eases a whole lot of the dog's stress and anxiety. I mean, think about it. You vocalize to the dog, and they want to know desperately what we want.
Hmm.
They go through their checklist. Was that sit down, stay, grandma's house, food, walkies? Oh no, I don't know what you want from me. I'm a lousy dog.
Yeah.
And we can further dissect that because if we can all agree dogs live only in the present and they don't have a human concept of the past,
Hmm.
they have no concept of the past participle or the hypothetical.
Right.
They have no concept of the human concept of the future. And we're constantly referring to all these different tenses using cue words they recognize. Well, that makes us untrustworthy. We should go to the park tomorrow. Park? We're not at the park right now. You just lied to me. I can't trust you. We should have gone to the park yesterday. It's too rainy today. Park? We're not at the park. I can't trust you.
Hmm. That's so
So
interesting.
we tell everybody just zip it. If you want Fluffy to come with you, just pull Fluffy along.
Hmm.
Apply some gentle leash pressure on a slip lead, a harness, whatever you have, and walk the hell away. Instead of saying, come with me, come with me. Now you've attached anxiety, agitation, or instability to the dog following you.
Hmm.
So much can be accomplished just by
Being
zip in your
quiet.
lip. Yeah,
That's so interesting.
yeah.
And how would you kind of, I know you do compassionate behavioral modification. What does that mean?
What does it mean? It's just a bunch of adjectives, right? Listen, I lay the foundation of the psychology, the communication, the behavioral recognition, teaching the people what the dog is really saying before we get into it. Always giving the dog a better option before we start with corrections. You
Mhm.
know, we have to communicate as the dog communicates first. We have to understand the dog, because in the dog human relationship, it can be strongly argued because dogs have been observing us for tens of thousands of years. They certainly know us better than we know them. And it can be strongly argued that they even know us better than we know ourselves. So they know us through scent, and we may not even realize we're stressed. Yet they can smell our stress response by identifying cortisol, which represents fight or flight.
Mhm.
And no, there is no other animal besides a human on the planet that will follow an unstable leader. And fight or flight represents instability. Compassionate dog training. We teach the dog a better option with minimal distractions, minimal distance first. We clarify the communication first. Then we slowly but surely get the dog out into the higher distraction laden area and give the dog the opportunity to be challenged where um, inappropriate responses are more likely to happen.
Mhm. I really like the way that you kind of think about the psychology of the dog and understanding that I agree with you, like they know us better than we know ourselves sometimes and kind of use that
Absolutely.
to your advantage in a way to better communicate with them.
Absolutely.
When someone has a new puppy and they're a new pet parent, it's, I think, very normal to feel lost at first. So, what are some advice that you might give to new pet parents who are starting training?
Keep things very simple.
Hmm.
Remember, more words is more confusion. Minimize the time spent training. Remember, your puppy is like an infant or um, a 2 year old child. The
Yeah.
attention, if you think the attention span is lacking with a regular dog, I mean, a lot of times people push the puppy too far.
Hmm.
Now, why isn't he sitting? Why isn't he sitting? Because you're being like that. He just did it. All right.
That's
You
great.
know, pack it up, go
Yeah.
have a grilled cheese, go take a break. That's it. Patience is key. And once again, simplifying communication with the puppy and having realistic expectations. You know, and not every human comes out of the womb prepared to be a professional athlete or astronaut. Just like not every puppy comes from the same genetics.
Hmm.
All these puppies that we see um, on social media or other internet platforms are very well bred. They're purpose bred dogs. They're higher drive. And we only see a 15, perhaps 30-second clip of that little puppy working. We don't see all of the nightmarish behavior on the outside. And we don't know how many hours a day that dog is collectively being worked. And we don't know the full level of experience that trainer handler has.
Great.
So don't compare yourself. You
Yeah.
know, that's what I tell people all the time. Don't compare yourself. Keep communication simple and keep training limited to small increments of time.
It's so similar how we say not to compare ourselves with people we see on social media, and you shouldn't do that to your dog either.
Right,
I
right.
completely agree with you. What are, I think, three things you would tell first-time dog parents not to do?
Not to do. Remember, too much freedom to a dog is too much responsibility.
Hmm.
So I would have to say limit the dog's freedom or space. Dogs are space oriented. The more space they have, the more responsibility they feel obligated to shoulder. So minimize their physical space, minimize their physical area of responsibility. That includes the yard. Everyone automatically assumes we have a fenced in yard. We're going to be great dog people. Not necessarily, because remember, due to a dog's perception of time, you open that rear slider, they bound into the backyard, and whether they relieve themselves or whether they start having fun and playing and chewing on a stick or chasing a ball that happens to be out there, you have removed yourself from those enriching or life necessary actions.
Mhm.
When a dog voids or has a bowel movement off lead, it doesn't necessarily connect it with you. It increases your relevance if initially you are in the yard with the dog on lead and you have it do its business with you on lead. A new dog should never, not never, but if you have any complaint about the new dog, in order to build a relationship, should void and have bowel movements on lead with you. Yes, it's work, but it prevents undesirable behavior from occurring to begin with. Um, so what do we have so far? Limit the space, no off lead in the backyard, limit vocalizations. There's no need for the hellos and the goodbyes as you enter the home and leave the home. Um, be aware of unearned affection. The dog isn't there primarily for you. You should change your mindset and understand this dog has contributed to my life. I should be there for him or her.
Mhm.
And it's very simple. Fluffy, you see Fluffy, you want to go pet Fluffy, have Fluffy come over to you, have Fluffy sit, have Fluffy lay down, then calmly mush Fluffy. And you guys can share some oxytocin like that. But, and shared space is also big, like the couch and the bed. Again, there are very few absolutes when it comes to dogs. So this doesn't apply to all of them. But a lot can be a lot of dog instability can be attributed to shared space, unearned affection, and unnecessary vocalizations.
No, there's so much, and that kind of leads me to my next question is, as a dog trainer, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. Have you seen a huge change in how people believe dogs should be trained or approached over the years?
I have. I think, especially over the past 25 years, we have really contaminated the dog gene pool.
Hmm.
That's a whole another podcast, Olivia.
Yeah.
But we believe the dog is there for strictly for us, for our enjoyment, for our satisfaction, for our snuggles. And we fail to realize that throughout all global mythology, as well as all indigenous culture, there are three classifications of moving, breathing, living things. At one end of the spectrum is animal, at the other end of the spectrum is human. And in the middle of their own separate classification, to be treated a special way, is dog, and we must honor the dog. You can research whatever indigenous American, North American culture, and you'll find it. The Sioux have a legend. The Iroquois have a legend. The Lakota have a legend. People believe dogs are just here as an accessory. You want an accessory? Buy a watch. Don't get a dog because we must we must bring honor to the dog. And with the selfish mindset that many people unknowingly have through no fault of their own. Listen, all our clients are great. They're great. They come to us, they're willing to learn. It can be difficult for some of them to change their perspective initially, but all of our clients are, I wouldn't trade them for the world. In fact, I challenge any other dog trainer to tell me that he or she has better human clients or better dog clients for that matter. But it's very challenging to look at the dog as a dog and not anthropomorphize. He's not your baby. He's a dog. He is a descendant of Canis lupus. It's Canis lupus familiaris. And maybe if I framed it in this perspective, Olivia, it would resonate with people. But again, it is strongly arguable that this call, the tick mitt, this watch, this building, our cities wouldn't have been possible had it not been for the willing domestication of the dog. The dog is the only mega carnivore that chose domestication. They came to us. We
Mhm.
didn't wrangle them like horses and sheep and goats and buffalo that became cattle. They came to us. And what did they do? Eventually, they allowed us to build stronger and stronger hunter gatherer groups, and we settled in little villages. And little villages grew. And then we decided to plant some grass and eat the seeds. And who did we have to protect our settlements? The dog. Who did we have to make us more efficient hunters? The dog. Who did we have 17 and a half thousand years later when we went and got sheep and horses and goats? Because the domestication of the dog goes back about 40,000 years. Who protected our livestock? The dog. Had it not been for who's on the couch with you, Olivia?
Lola.
Had it not been for Lola's ancestors and Greta's ancestors, none of this would have been possible.
Yeah.
And we owe them far more than they owe us.
Yeah, that's very true.
I
It's
hope
so true.
I hope you can relate to that.
I really do. And, I have had dogs in my life since I was born, and I agree that they have changed my life for the better in many, many ways and continue, to choose me every day. And completely agree that without my dog, Tickmit might not have been a thing. Before we sign off, one thing that we like to ask every guest is what is something that ticks you off? Big, small, rational, irrational, let everyone know.
What ticks me off? I try not to let anything tick me off, but it is challenging to deal with folks who are unwilling to change their perspective on dogs, knowing they have an issue.
Hmm.
It's challenging for me. Notice I said challenging because I refuse to let it frustrate me anymore. I refuse to have bad days. I just have bad moments. Um, it's challenging for me to see people give up on the dog because they're unwilling to change their perspective and implement something new. I mean, as the cliche goes, Olivia, nothing changes if nothing changes. So when people have been doing the same thing on a daily basis with their dog, and I want to use the word audacity. To me, they have the audacity to complain about the dog's behavior. Imagine what your dog is saying about you.
At the dog park with all the other dogs.
Yeah,
We all have to change if we want the things around us to change,
absolutely.
make choices.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so, so much, Richie. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And don't forget to follow TickMit for more insights, stories, and tips. Until next time, take care and check yourself.